Hello viewers, this video is about ovary. Ovary is an organ found in the female reproductive system. It produces an ovum. There is an ovary found on each side of the body. It means ovaries are paired structures. The word ovary came from the Latin word ovarium, means egg or nut. The ovary progresses through many stages beginning in the prenatal period through menopause. It is also an endocrine gland because of various hormones that it secretes. In this section, we will cover the location, components and clinical significance of ovaries. This picture gives you an overview of female reproductive system. Female reproductive system consists of fallopian tube, the paired structures, ovaries, again paired structures, the uterus, unpaired, cervix, and vagina. Coming to the structure of ovaries. Ovaries are considered as the female gonads, the counterpart of testis in females. Each ovary is whitish in color. It is about 4 cm in length, 2 cm width, and about 8 mm in thickness. Its weight is about 2 to 3.5 gram. It is located in a region called ovarian fossa. The ovarian fossa is bounded by external iliac artery and in front of the ureter and the internal iliac artery. The boundaries of ovarian fossa are external iliac artery, ureter and internal iliac artery. This area is about 4 into 3 into 2 cm in size. Here you can see this is the ovary which is situated lateral to the uterus and this is oval in shape and whitish in color. Here you can see the placement of ovary, that is the ovarian fossa. In front you can see external iliac vessels and behind you can see obturator nerve and vessels and internal iliac artery, and here you can see the ureter. These are the boundaries of ovarian fossa. External iliac vessels, internal iliac artery, obturator nerve and vessel and the ureter. This area is called the ovarian fossa. The ovary has a capsule and it is called as tunica albuginea. The outer area of the ovary is called the cortex and it houses the developing gametes called the oocytes within the follicles. The developing gametes are called the oocytes. They are situated within the follicle and it is placed in the cortex. The innermost area is called medulla. It is loose connective tissue with the largest vessels and nerves. In this image you can see this is the capsule called the tunica albuginea and this area is cortex where you can see the follicles of different stages are situated, and this is the area, the inner area called medulla, which houses largest vessels and nerves of the ovary. Each ovary presents a lateral and a medial surface, a upper or tubal and a lower or uterine end or extremity, an anterior or mesovarian and a posterior free border. Each ovary has two surfaces, lateral and medial, two extremity or two end, upper and lower end, otherwise tubal and uterine end or extremity, and two borders, anterior and posterior or mesovarian and posterior free border. In this image you can see here is the anterior border, this is the posterior border, this is the lower pole or the uterine end, this is the tubal end or the upper pole, and this is the lateral surface and this is the medial surface of the ovary. The tubal extremity or the tubal pole or the upper pole is attached the fimbriae of the uterine tube and the fold of peritoneum. That fold is called the suspensory ligament of ovary and it contains ovarian vessels. Here you can see the tubal end. This is the fimbriae of uterine tube and this is the tubal end. So the tubal end is covered mostly by fimbriae of uterine tube, and also there is a fold of peritoneum. Here you can see the fold of peritoneum, and that is called the suspensory ligament of ovary, and through which or it contains different ovarian vessels. About the uterine end, it is attached to the lateral angle of uterus just below or behind the uterine tube. This is the uterine tube and its attachment to the uterus. Just below that or inferior to that, the uterine end of ovary is attached to the uterus through utero-ovarian ligament. This is the utero-ovarian ligament. It is otherwise called a ligament of ovary. So you have seen two ligaments here, utero-ovarian ligament or ligament of ovary and the suspensory ligament of ovary. Suspensory ligament of ovary is a fold of peritoneum and it contains ovarian vessel. The utero-ovarian ligament is a rounded cord. It attaches the uterine end of ovary to the lateral angle of uterus just below the uterine tube. About the lateral surface of ovary, it is in contact with parietal peritoneum which lies in ovarian fossa. This is the lateral surface, this is the parietal peritoneum. Then the medial surface is to a large extent covered by fimbriated extremity of the uterine tube. This is the medial surface, this is the fimbriae, and the medial surface is mostly covered by fimbriae of uterine tube. In this slide, you can see the borders of ovary. The ovary has two borders, the mesovarian border and the free border, or the anterior border or posterior border. The mesovarian border is straight and is attached to the broad ligament by a short fold named mesovarium. Here you can see this is the anterior border or mesovarian border and that is straight. Then it is attached to the broad ligament by a fold of peritoneum called the mesovarium. It is otherwise called a suspensory ligament of ovary. The other border, it is the free border or the posterior border. It is convex and is directed towards the urethra. This is the posterior border. It is convex in shape and it is directed towards the urethra. This is the urethra. Coming to the hilum of ovary. The depression at the insertion of mesovarium is called as the hilum of the ovary. It is the place where the vessels and nerves enter and leave the ovary. You can see here, this is the insertion of mesovarium or suspensory ligament to the ovary. Here is a depression and that depression is called as the hilum of the ovary. Here you can see, this is the mesovarium and that is inserted to the ovary, and here there is the area that is called the ovarian hilum. This is the area through which the ovarian vessels and nerves enter and leaves the ovary. Now we will see about the microanatomy of ovary. The surface of the ovaries is covered with a membrane consisting of a lining of simple to columnar shaped mesothelium called as germinal epithelium. The surface of the ovary is covered by germinal epithelium, in other words. The outer layer is the ovarian cortex consisting of ovarian follicle and stroma in between them. Here you can see the outer layer of the ovary is called a germinal epithelium, or it is covered with the germinal epithelium, and inner to that the area is called the cortex, the outer cortex. The outer cortex consists of ovarian follicle in different stages. You can see here the stages are numbered here 1 to 9. Then in between the ovarian follicle you can see the parenchyma and that is called the stroma. The outer cortex consists of ovarian follicles of different stages and in between them the stroma. Included in the follicles are cumulus ovorus, membrana granulosa, corona radiata, zona pellucida and primary oocyte. The theca of follicle antrum, and liquor folliculi are also contained in the follicle. Also in the cortex, the corpus luteum is derived from follicles. Here you can see the content of the follicle. This is the primordial follicle. The primordial follicle is lined by follicular cells. This is called as the primary follicle, and that has an inner oocyte, an outer layer of zona pellucida, then granulosa cells, and finally theca cells. The next stage is the secondary follicle. It has the same structure of primary follicle, and additionally there is an antrum. This is the next stage, and that is called a Graafian follicle, where you can see additionally corona radiata. These are all different types of cells around the oocyte, corona radiata. And the area just in front of the oocyte is called a cumulus oophrus. Then ovulation takes place, and in this ovulation ovum you can see the oocyte and the corona radiata. Then you can see the ruptured follicle. The ruptured follicle then became corpus luteum. Corpus luteum later undergo degeneration and it becomes the corpus albicans. These are the contents of follicle in the microanatomy of ovary. Then the innermost layer is the ovarian medulla. It can be hard to distinguish between cortex and the medulla, but the follicles are usually not found in the medulla. In this image you can see this is the innermost area which is free of follicle, and that is called the medulla. It contains the largest vessels and nerves of the ovary. Coming to the ligaments of ovary, already we have mentioned what are the names of ligaments and what they do. Here you can see the suspensory ligament of ovary or the mesovarian. It contains the ovarian vessels. This is the ovarian ligament which attaches the uterine end of ovary to the uterus just below the insertion of uterine tube. And this is the mesovarium, that is a fold of peritoneum. Ligaments are two ligaments attached to the ovary. They are the suspensory ligament of ovary, that is a fold of peritoneum extending from mesovarium to the pelvic ball. It contains neurovascular structures. Then second is ligament of ovary, extend from ovary to the fundus of the uterus. It continues from the uterus as the round ligament of uterus. Ligament of ovary continues as round ligament of uterus. About the neurovascular supply of the ovary. The main arterial supply is via paired ovarian artery. There is also contribution from uterine artery. The venous drainage is achieved via paired ovarian veins. The ovary receives sympathetic and parasympathetic innervation from ovarian and uterine plexuses respectively. The lymph from the ovaries are drained into para-aortic nodes. Here you can see this is the ovary. The main supply is from ovarian artery. It also receives blood from uterine artery. About the clinical relevance of ovary, some disorders are mentioned here. Ovarian cyst, polycystic ovary, and ovarian tumors. Ovarian cysts are fluid-filled masses that develop within the ovary. They are most commonly derived from ovarian follicle and reaching approximately 2 to 2.5 cm in size. Polycystic ovaries are characterized by hormone dysfunction and multiple ovarian cysts, usually more than 10. Ovarian tumors are another serious disorder. 90% of ovarian cancers are derived from epithelium, and these are named as ovarian adenocarcinomas. This is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please support this channel by subscribing and sharing with your friends.